Hello. Hi, smiley face. How are you? I was waiting for Stream Elements chatbot. To come in and tell me that I was actually streaming, but it still hasn't. So we might not have a chatbot today, which is fine. I don't know it'll be any problem at all. So we are making donuts. I'm gonna start pulling stuff over here so that we can get our first donut working. These are baked donuts. I don't fry very well. I don't try to fry. And this recipe always confuses me because it wants buttermilk but baking soda. So usually you get buttermilk in a recipe for the acid, which activates the baking powder. So I don't know what's up with it. Let me say, I'm adjusting this recipe to use our Crème-Delish. So this was originally a baked chocolate donut recipe. I've looked at it several times. I've already mentally made notes for what I want to replace, and somehow I'm looking at it again as if I've never seen it before in my life. Not really. Just like, oh, I didn't get out the brown sugar. Did I think that I didn't need it because I'm putting the Crème-Delish in, or did I just forget? Doing baked donuts with our flavoring, our Crème-Delish flavoring in it. So we're gonna get started real soon here. But I'm adapting it from a chocolate donut recipe, so I'm deciding where I want to cut, if I want to cut brown sugar, if I want to, I mean, obviously I'm not going to put cocoa powder in, but working on that. So we'll start with a cup of flour. So it's Thursday, and because I missed a couple of days, I keep misremembering the day. So it's exciting that part of the week went by somewhat under the radar for me. Salt. Fake by putting lemon juice, which I have plenty of, into the milk and stirring it before you add it to anything else. So buttermilk is acidulated, basically slightly curdled milk of whatever kind you have. I'm using cow's milk, not almond this time. I could use almond, I've done it in the past, but I had the cow's milk, and we'll go ahead and put that in there. This will be the normal one. Okay, so is this all of the dry stuff? It is, except for our flavor. We're gonna do some brown sugar, and we're gonna do the rest Crème-Delish, because they both are gonna bring fairly different flavors to the party, as, who would say, AB? Oh, Elton Brown would say to the party, because he's cool like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do about 60 grams of brown sugar, which will give us about 1/4 cup. We'll do it by volume and we'll see what happens. I love to do this. Test how the volume compares to what the weight should be. It's always very educational. Although 1/2 cup of this is quite a lot. Don't care. Let's see what happens. And then I'm gonna make a glaze out of this as well. So donuts do have to be glazed. Well, not keto ones. I could do keto glaze. I'll do it, that's fine. Okay, so it's 69 grams of Crème-Delish. So this recipe also calls for butter. I'm gonna use vegetable oil, which is generally an easy sub. You know what, let's preheat. .325 Fahrenheit. I'm doing it convection, and I'm going to shorten the time. It does say between 13 and 17 minutes. Seems like a wide range, but hey. So I'm going to go for 12 and check it, just because convection. Okay. Oh man, that smells amazing. It's so good. I tell everybody about Crème-Delish. All right, I don't need to measure, I need to volume measure. We are gonna get 1/2 cup of milk. And I'll put a teaspoon of lemon and a teaspoon of vanilla in it. I can put the lemon in at the same time as the vanilla, and then I'll stir it up and let it sit for just a minute. All right, so a teaspoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of lemon. See if I got chunks. Oh yeah. Once your milk gets chunky, which sounds really wrong, but this is how it's supposed to be. Grease and nut juice, you know how we roll, Shaq. Doing good in here. So butter, 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to use my other measures. And we're using vegetable oil instead. Vanilla, yes. Butter, oil, egg. All right, let's do eggy. Oil is in. I will go ahead and try and mix it in the 1 cup measure, even though it is too small. But the nice thing about getting the egg in the liquid is that then it can all carry the little bits of white that don't really separate, so that you have a more, well, basically so that you don't get little white strings of protein throughout your donuts, which is what the whites kind of want to do, is they kind of want to like stretch out and make these little ropes. We're starting on our first donut. We're going to see how far we get. But I was trying to do a New Jersey accent as per the dialogue typed into chat from Shaquille O'Neal. I was not stellar, but that is okay. Okay, so this is actually a little bit thinner than I expected. Like as you see it settle out, which is actually fine, because when I put it in here, I want it to kind of settle out so there's no like big bumps at the beginning. Buster, you're catching up on the nut juice in the coffee. It's delicious, I tell you, but it is not milk. You cannot milk an almond. So the thing that I should be doing that I'm not, is putting this on the scale and making sure that at least how much I'm measuring in weight into each well is very close to equal, because some of them are going to be done before others, since I'm not doing that, because my eyeballing it is not really good enough. It's all like 2/3, and I'm like, well, I don't understand 2/3. So I am going to try actually and put most of this in. There is not much left, so if it goes up almost to the top, I mean, it might be a disaster, but we'll see. And see how I put it in one side and it kind of all settles down? That's nice. I like this texture for that reason, because sometimes they're quite thick and you get those peaks on top of them still. All right, we're gonna say that's good to go, and we'll do 12 like I said originally, because that was the smart thing for me to say, and so I should probably do it. Ooh, I should have put that on a pan, but I did not. So many regrets. Breckman, I am great, thank you. Are these rated R muffins? Maybe. These are Crème-Delish. Crème-Delish is for all ages. Okay, yes, they are ready. Those extra 2 minutes did matter, so I will show them to you, and you will see why I said that they're way too filled. Because look, they're almost muffins. So I'm doing the touch test. Literally, if you can feel it and it springs back a little bit, it's done. So on my notes for this recipe, it said that it makes 6, but I have crossed that out and said it usually makes 8+. And I see why I did that, and I assumed this might be the case again. So I will have to verify that. But isn't that nice? These look so, y'all. Let's take this one. They're cool enough now. So you can observe the texture. I think that camera looks clear to me. Please tell me if it's not. So that was probably a piece of brown sugar I didn't squish hard enough. And texture is really nice. So you see the bubbles? It raised itself. It had good leavening. That's super nice. Super, super nice. When you get a cake donut and it's really fresh, and it has cinnamon in it, like a cinnamon sugar cake donut, that's what this is. It does not need frosting. I'm not making frosting or icing or whatever. It's really good. This would also be super as donut holes, just for that same reason, because it's so nice and cakey and you get everything you want in a little bite. Definitely moist, which we want. So these are the pumpkins. So see how lumpy they are? So when I poured them, they didn't level out. They didn't smooth out like I was talking about with the Crème-Delish ones. So I'm gonna let them hang out for a little bit. So I was saying I overfilled the wells essentially, and I need an 8-count donut pan. But this is the donut. I'll eat a little bit more so that you can see how much I like it, because they're amazing. They're like a cake donut, but like a cinnamon sugar cake donut, except like it doesn't need any glaze. It doesn't need anything added to it. All the flavors in here. They're super, super good.
What's funny is the creme, we can smell it before we eat it.
Yeah. It is really that like.
But it's hard to. I have a good palate. I do. And I try to like get all the flavors. There's so many.
See, for me, cinnamon is the first one. Like you get that cinnamon sugar like immediately, and then.
But there's something like.
It's egg. It's a donut. What flavor do you think it is? There is cream in it. Yeah, that's true. So but like, you're right. You're right.
I do get this like subtle spices.
Mm-hmm. Those aren't pumpkin.
Those are pumpkin.
Uh-huh. So do you like Crème-Delish donuts?